This QTV webcast brought to you in part by Bonds Limited.
What do you get when you put a gay man, his prize-winning orchids, and several pairs of ruby slippers together? Well, you get a story that's only in San Francisco.
Meet a San Francisco life artist who has a passion for growing orchids and who shared with us his sexual reasons why.
For those of you who don't know, orchids have a lot of meaning associated to them with homosexuality. The word orchid, in fact, means testicle, which is quite thrilling to know. Another thing is that orchids are a reference to same-sex love in the East, and the scent of orchids specifically is a reference. So if someone was talking to someone else about the scent of orchids, that would mean something very homoerotic. And orchids themselves are very homoerotic plants. They actually are both genders at once. Lucky them.
Growing orchids is a labor of love for michio, and for more reasons than one.
And what we do is we get orchids donated to us by people from all over the world, and we sell them here in San Francisco. We have a sale in the spring and in the fall. And last year we actually raised about $70,000 that all went to AIDS organizations.
And aside from orchids, he has over the years harvested quite an interesting shoe collection. All he needs now, it seems, is a yellow brick road.
These specific shoes were created for the March on Washington, and they were only worn for that day. They're my ruby slippers. And these, of course, are my cosmic shoes, which were one of the very first pairs of shoes that I actually did alter. And they sort of give me a little sense of confidence when I wear them. And the funny thing, though, is when I click them together, I end up in horrible places like Piedmont, so I rarely do that. My favorite shoes, well, I would actually have to say they probably are the Van Gogh ones, the Starry Night shoes, only because I'm convinced that had he used glitter in his paintings, he probably would have sold more than one. So I'm Michio, and thank you for coming. It was so lovely to have you here in my house. We must do it again sometime.